tomorrow I think will be something different. We're just gonna like be talking as opposed to, I'm not gonna be doing anything on the side. It'll be just kind of more of a conversation.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, for some reason, I have to deactivate and then activate to go full screen. I think it's the cam link. All right, so.
All right, I'll go ahead and get us started. Kill Bluetooth on my computer. That's probably not helping matters. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to, what is this, like Tips Only Tuesday, something like that?
Something.
Yeah, we'll come up with it. We'll come up with a good name for it. But yeah, supporters only live stream. We do it every Tuesday, or at least I do it every Tuesday. I am fortunate to be joined by my excellent co-host Adam Blue. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. Yeah, anytime you want to play Gundam games, that just makes my day. I mean, honestly.
Right. It's a great way to spend your lunch break. So yeah, we're gonna do some grinding here on the old on Battlefield Record 0081.
Now, do I need to go to free mission and then continue?
I think that's where we were at. Oh, you know what? I am having a issue that I need to change. Is I don't have your audio coming to the right spot.
Oh, good call.
All right, can I get you to mic check for me again?
Mic check. Testing
there
1 2
go.
Nice.
See, this is professional outfit here.
Well, speaking of outfit, you've got quite the outfit. You got your shirt.
I have to represent myself, and
yeah, of course.
I need to come up with some new merch ideas. I've been inspired by some of the new gear you've got on your shop.
Oh yeah, and likewise, I was inspired by your stuff. So, you know what? I might need to double check that I've got the internet working on this.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I forget. So this one actually does have a lobby. So you've already gone back into the free mission that you've started, right?
Yeah, but I do have to quit real quick and then get the internet for some reason. Give me a second on that.
But yeah, and apologies for not getting a video uploaded on Friday. That was my intent. I had some Oyumaru. Oh, geez. See, this is. I don't know why I opened the internet browser on my on my PS3. I had an update to my old Oyumaru video. Making copies of Gundam parts using thermoplastic, but had a failure, and so it's one of those things where it's like no one wants to see like a failed copy. Like
you never know.
It makes for good live streams, but it doesn't do well as an edited video. Not great footage.
Or if it's like B-roll or something along the way.
Yeah, that's I'm always happy to share my behind the scenes blunders. So I think we both ended up going into free mission, and then of course like we play online. I just forgot how to set up the lobby. Okay. It feels like it's been forever since we've been on here.
Yeah, and I think, and I apologize, but yeah, I think the internet is working. I guess the wireless wasn't connected because I normally have it plugged in, but I did some rearranging. But so far so good. Yeah, Okay. All right. Let me get back into this game. Yeah, I remember there was like a lobby system, but like we had to go to the same match or the same.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the online menu now. Oh hey, Blue Gamer's now online. You
Oh,
don't
there we
say.
go. Okay.
So did you want to create the match or well, create the room or
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. All right. Still loading up here. And are we doing that same one we failed last time? And we're just gonna try to not fail.
we can give that one a shot for sure. I was having fun with trying not to be obliterated by or well which
Yeah.
one was it was that the 0083 mission that we were doing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll load up what I've got. All right, loading it now. And I keep forgetting this one has the X and O buttons as they are in
Right.
Western places. Because I was just playing, yeah, the side stories, and obviously everything's switched.
Right.
Okay, so. Okay, going into online mode. Okay, so create room. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Sounds good.
User slot. Okay, invitation slot. It even has voice chat. Huh.
See, that might be something we have to explore.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Because I like, yeah, that they. When did this come out? Was it before Side Stories?
I think so.
Because it's like, it almost does the multiplayer. Well, the other one actually doesn't even have multiplayer, does it?
Now, Side Stories we found out doesn't have multiplayer, which was unfortunate. But this definitely does multiplayer way better than Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, better than that.
I
Okay.
hate that you have to like reconnect for every mission.
Yeah,
At
and
least
it's weird.
this way, you can have a lobby and a room.
Okay. Wait. Wait. So I'm inviting you,
Okay.
but
Or do you just do a public room and then I quick search?
yeah, let's do that because what I was just doing was not working. I'm so used to all these modern ways of inviting people to things. It's
I know man, our kids will never understand what it was like, matchmaking lobbies, playing Halo, and that kind of thing.
yep. Okay. All right. Creating the room, but it is loading.
Sweet. Let's see if I can add in.
Okay, so it is up if you want to look.
There we go. Yeah, let's hop in.
Sweet.
Let's see if I can pull in the game audio here.
Now, do you know, like on this, and I'm going to. I'm going to do a translation scan here because I don't know what level I picked. But it has a star next to it.
Oh, interesting.
Libyan Desert Clearing Mission. Now, it just says, yeah, Libyan Desert. So, do you happen to know what it means when it has the star next to the mission name? Could that be you completed it or you just completed it 1 star?
I don't know, honestly. Yeah. Yeah,
well,
maybe it is or it could be part of the multiplayer function where it's like like it's letting you know that I can play it. Because I remember that there was some missions that we couldn't play together on account of like, one of us hadn't unlocked it yet.
Ah, I see. That's right. Ah, that's right, yeah. So let's start this, and hopefully this is a mission we haven't done.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
I had to take off my Xeon hat since we're playing Feds.
Oh. Nice.
レーダーが敵の反応を捉えた。この地域に敵部隊が潜伏していると思われる。敵を発見次第、攻撃を実行せよ。
Man, I always wish I knew what they were saying. I mean, I can look it up and translate it, but in real time, to be engaged with the story.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a shame that the number of Gundam games that were never localized for the West.
Yeah.
Because and it was this era of like the PS3 generation of games that they just stopped.
So, I want to say we probably did this mission.
It feels familiar.
I guess let's see.
Okay, I see that we've got our refueling station back there. Okay. So I pulled up our bigger world map, and it looks like we are surrounded by enemies here.
Nice.
Yeah, over here in the canyons. So maybe that is what the star means is,
And are you using a custom suit? Like one that you bought?
Yeah, I've got, I am in a GM ground type with dual beam sabers because melee is king in this game. I'm sure you've
Yeah.
found.
Hey, what's the lock-on button? Wasn't there one?
Circle.
Circle.
Lock on.
Awesome.
Nice. Now, have you unlocked anything for your gym yet, or are you saving up for a new mobile suit?
I want to say I did. I do have some unlocks on my GM, so I could be more powerful than last time.
Ooh, we've got a. There was a Zaku 1 over here that's dual wielding machine guns.
That's cool.
And that's one of the things that I love about this game is like, you can dual wield weapons, you can kind of customize your loadout.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty substantially. You have some ability to customize your suit in GBO2, but I would say not as much as in here.
Yeah, it's mainly in GBO2 that some suits can have additional weapons, but yeah, not all. So if you really wanted to play a specific way, and I wonder if that's a canon thing, or that's more of just like balance.
Yeah,
Like
I'm sure it's got. I'm sure there's a little bit of both in there.
Yeah.
Because I think that, I mean, and I think that even with regard to the sort of upgrades that you can equip in GBO2, you end up getting things like 5% buffs or like, 15% buffs at the max. And I think part of that is because it's PvP, whereas this being a PvE multiplayer game, some of the equipment that you can get, will give you like a 30% buff to certain attributes.
That's a good point, because what I've learned in GBO2 is generally, yeah, like you're saying, it's not huge buffs, but if you're speccing out something specifically, you can actually get some pretty insane buffs that don't necessarily make it overpowered, but make it very good at a specific thing. I'm trying to think of a recent one. It had to do with in GBO2 had to do with reducing your stagger when you get attacked, and it was something around like 30%, and that's huge.
Yeah, that would be huge. And again, part of that is you don't want to punish new players too much for
Yeah.
having not played enough to unlock some of those upgrades.
So for this game, for Battlefield Record, what percentage would you say you're through the game? And I guess in terms of both the missions and what you've unlocked.
Well, as far as like the story mode, I've beaten both the Xeon and Federation story modes.
Cool.
But for what I've unlocked, in the free mission mode, man, I think I've barely scratched the surface, especially for Federation. For Xeon, I think I've unlocked a decent amount of mobile suits. But another thing that I like about the upgrade system in this game is that everything comes with a cost. So it's like you might get an armor buff, but it hurts your speed, or you might get a thrust boost, but it hurts your melee.
I like that.
There's a trade-off for everything that you can do.
Yeah, that helps. That's another way to actually kind of figure out a specific way to play, a play style.
Yeah. I mean, you can really spec your build exactly the way you want to do it.
And unless I'm missing something, in side stories, it doesn't seem like it has any sort of customization at all. No upgrades. It's really just, here's the 3 or 2 suits you can choose from in this mission as you play.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because it's a little different.
True. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of a bummer to not be able to pick your own sort of loadout, right?
Although, it's crazy. Like, man, I wish I had already been into Gundam when, like, side stories or SD Generation Genesis came out. Because the way they tell the stories and then, like, using badass mobile suits, but also how the stories are told very much the same between those two games. Like, where I'll recognize the maps. Or, like, I can recognize then, even though it's in Japanese, like, what the story is, because...
right, it's like, oh, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
And with some, it's like, I think especially in side stories, where you kind of get a different perspective on some of the maps and things like that. Like, well, in G Generation, playing through Xeonic Front, for instance, because you get like a top-down view of the map, that's not something that you ever get in Xeonic Front. So it's a very different experience from what it was in the previous game, or the game that it's based on, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think Xeonic Front. I've only played the beginning of the original game, and then with Blue Destiny, I played it SD Generation Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, playing it in this game, or in side stories, yeah, it's like I know where I am on the map, even though I haven't been on the map.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool little, I don't know, I just, the care they take with keeping things, like, making sense,
Yeah, they're very deliberate about their canon.
Especially the games. Like, between games where they're calling back previous stuff, that's always done well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that even goes for, some of the things that happen kind of, I guess, tangentially to the main storyline. Like, so for instance, what I'm referring to specifically, I suppose I shouldn't, I speak very cryptically about, the Marcosius storyline. Where it's like, oh yeah, they were at the Battle of Baoku, and so you can kind of, it's like there's things going on that, both in G Generation Genesis and in side stories where, it's like these are the sort of tentpole narrative pieces that happen, in the story of Amuro and Char, and they also happen in side stories and in G Generation to the Marcosia squad. Like, you can kind
Yeah.
of see that third-party perspective. I don't know if I'm articulating it well enough.
No, I know what you mean exactly. Like, again, I love that. It really makes it seem like there's this full world, and they really did a good job with the games, making, like, the games have this cohesive side story. Literally what they called the game.
That's right.
Like, and that's exactly what Star Wars should be doing, you
Yeah.
know, with their games. And it's weird that they haven't really picked up on that. Okay,
That's true.
so I feel like we did that mission.
Yeah, that was familiar.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to pick probably then, I guess, the latest one that... Yeah, it was either this or Dynasty Warriors, where it's like you had to have beaten it or something.
Yeah, I think Dynasty Warriors is a lot stricter about what you like, what missions you can play, and it was weird because it would change based on whether, you know, which of us started the match, right? It was like I couldn't invite you to play a mission that you had already unlocked, even though you could invite me to play the mission.
Yeah, even my missions, it's very limited. I guess it's really just what I have unlocked, so... Yeah.
Oh, hey. Well, apparently I can now purchase a gun cannon.
Oh, that's good.
I'm curious about what the cost on that would be. Well, that's a mass production type gun cannon. That's 120K. Oh man, I want to get these Mark IIs so bad. Or the GPO2. Okay, so it's the mass production type gun cannon that I unlocked, but it's still 120K to purchase one, and I only have 60K. So I don't even have like other mobile suits that I could sell.
Oh yeah, I am so early in it. It's like I almost forgot what I had upgraded, because I was like, why is my guy slow? And it's like, oh yeah, I reduced my speed on purpose to...
Oh, did you do like a specific build?
Yeah.
So what kind of build are you going for? Like,
You know what? I don't know. I thought at first I think I was trying to go with something that just had good ranged firepower, but I'm thinking of I want to be kind of speedy in melee. But I'm gonna go with this for a little bit because I think you can still change it out, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I'll just wait. Okay. Yeah, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, whenever you are.
Okay, cool. Then let me start. Okay.
Yeah, and so like, what's funny is, to me, as far as gameplay goes, you know, you have like GBO2, which is probably the slowest and most deliberate, you know, Souls-likey of the 3D Gundam games that are quite similar to one another.
Yeah.
This game is kind of right in the middle, is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And then Side Stories is way more fast-paced.
Yeah, and I almost said that game was too easy, but I think it's just overall it's easy. But there are some missions that do require you to be fast.
Yeah, I think all of them are challenging in their own right. It just depends on what type of experience you're kind of going for.
Yeah.
To me, 0081 is the easiest. And then, I don't know, I actually have a harder time with Side Stories sometimes than I do with GBO2.
Yeah, you know, it's weird because, like I was saying, there's some of these missions in Side Stories that... Are you in the map, by the way? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm right
There's,
behind you.
there's some missions in Side Stories where I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I remember there's times, too, especially when the Pale Rider would first show up and it would just decimate me immediately. But then you just kind of figure out, oh, you just have to boost a lot and block and use your specials. But with this game, sometimes it's the same thing. Like, I'm on the mission where, and I forget, it's a goof, I think, that just comes in and destroys me immediately. and I don't know what to do. That's why I haven't actually been playing this by myself for a while.
This is a tough one to play by yourself. It doesn't help that the AI, like your allied AI, is absolute garbage.
Yeah, that's true.
And this one's tricky because you know, unlike GBO2 or side stories, once you're out of ammo, you're out, and you have to go find more ammo.
Yeah.
And I think that that's part of why the melee builds are so strong in this game, is just because, you know...
Okay, they just running away from us?
Yeah, I think that they just kind of took off. I saw a Dom in the back, like in the distance.
It's like, sorry, Commander, don't understand Japanese.
I wonder if that's something that, you know, you never see it in any Gundam series where there's like a language barrier, but I mean, you know, that had to exist to some degree in the Universal Century, right? Like,
I wonder if by then really everyone speaks English, but you know, it's just Jap, because a lot of the writing, well, no, it's a little mix. I mean, there's a lot of writing you see actually is in English in Gundam. I'm trying to think like
okay,
billboards and signs, diagrams and schematics. Yeah, it's usually English.
yeah.
And that could just be the idea of, based on, you know, the world economy, how that works, that people would eventually just end up speaking English.
Right. I mean, that's,
Oh, is this
I think that English definitely unlocks a lot of opportunities in the world today.
Yeah.
And
there's a goof here that is just...
yeah, I was gonna say, I see a lot of mobile suits trucking towards that, there's like a target in the distance.
Oh yeah, it's like in the middle of the...
I'm wondering if we need to defend that target from here.
Yeah, let me head over there.
See, and this is pretty cool too, is it's like, you know, there's a goof here that's equipped with a machine gun, which you never see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Right.
that's what's behind. But they're not really being all that tough on me.
whoa. I just got hit by that cannon.
Oh wow, yeah, they're... So I guess the Zakutus are running away to let the goofs come in and kill. That's good.
Uh-huh.
I'll try to go get that guy.
Yeah, something Admiral Akbar.
That's
Um,
true.
But yeah, so on that note, actually tomorrow's live stream discussion, you know, give the supporters a sneak preview of what we're going to be talking about. So my wife and I have been watching a lot of, you know, sci-fi television and movies lately. We started off with Firefly. Now we are rewatching the 2004 Battlestar Galactica series, which great series, a lot of fun. But you know, every sci-fi show, game, movie definitely has a certain degree of suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, that's...
And very early on in Battlestar Galactica, we had a moment where we're just like, wait, this is stupid.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, did you watch the Battlestar Galactica remake?
No, I started it, and there were some things about it that you know, and I didn't give it a fair shake, to be honest, but like the whole thing where I guess there's, it actually reminds me a lot of Macross, but there's these things called Cyclones? No, it's something like that.
Cylon.
Cylon, there you go. And they, I guess, they're able to make themselves look human. And I always feel like that's like an easy out for special effects. You know? But it's funny
Yeah.
because in Macross, I could be wrong about this, but they call humans my clones. And
Which is kind of funny.
and they will genetically, the aliens are giants, and they'll genetically alter themselves to be small. To then, so that's actually kind of a similar thing to Battlestar Galactica. in that.
Right, because it's like, you've got these big hulking metallic Cylons that you then uh, pack into a human package.
Yeah, so it's funny because it's that same, and I don't know if that's where you're going with it, but for that setup, that's a little too far out there for sci-fi. But like, I'm overlooking it just because Macross is enjoyable. Are you saying it's the same with Battlestar?
Well, not specifically. There's in the first few episodes of the first season, there's an instance that's very similar to The Last Jedi, actually,
Oh,
where what's happening is the Cylons are chasing the fleet of humans through space, and every 33 minutes, um, they light speed jump and
oh,
arrive on the scene and start firing and stuff like that. So it's like every 33 minutes, everyone has to, all right, scramble the jets, make sure that everyone's safe. Now we're going to do another FTL jump. And then we start a clock for 33 minutes until they attack us again. And it's like, that they're talking like in the captions and everything. It's like everyone's been 136 hours without sleep. And I'm like, why aren't you guys taking shifts?
yeah. That's funny. I remember, yeah, the first few episodes I saw that whole thing being a thing, and I feel like, wow, I could probably come up with something a little more reasonable here.
Right, rather than keeping everyone in the fleet awake, can we just okay, A squad, you're gonna run for about 6 hours, B squad, you're gonna run for about 6 hours so that A squad can sleep. I was like, this is this is silly.
Yeah.
Like, hospitals know how to do shift work. It's crazy to me that of a fleet of 50,000 people, nobody was like, rather than all of us be awake, can some of us sleep? And
No, I know what you mean. Those, and I feel like sometimes when you watch, are you ready, by the way, or do you need to?
oh yeah, by the way.
It's like sometimes I feel like these things are happening to create maybe some sort of interesting tension, and it's kind of, but it's like sometimes you can watch sci-fi and they don't do any of that at all, even if it is kind of a fantastical thing. It's like it's believable, or it's like, and I think sometimes that could make or break a sci-fi story. It's like, what are they leaning into?
Right, like it's like you understand, and this seems to be like a common trait of, I would say, amateur story writers, amateur directors, is it's like they have a situation, they have a plot point that they need to get to, but they're not quite sure how to do it, and so they have this kind of contrived way of making everything happen that way. And if you don't have a compelling enough reason to do that, then you lose probably half your audience.
Yeah. I think in what you know what that I'm glad you actually brought up The Last Jedi, because I think that's something that typically Star Wars was able to get away with, but The Last Jedi kept introducing things that needed explanation.
Yeah.
It's like, well, in the world of Star Wars, this kind of doesn't make sense, but okay. To me, as cool as that hyperspace jump kill was, it was just like, that's such like a, that would seem like it would be either a normal thing or at least discussed, or there would be some technology that would, like, it, to me, when you're talking about taking over a galaxy, you would think that that would be something that's already weaponized by the First Order to just quickly take out planets or something. I don't know, but like
something
for that scene to happen, it seemed like it was just a way to escape and make it look cool without really having thought through what a battle would be like. Even that was weird. It was like a slow-mo Mad Max Fury Road, you know, where they were just kind of like driving, or they're in space, but there was no space battles. But some people could leave and go to another planet. Like, again, that's another thing that's like within context of everything, that's not good storytelling, because it's like, okay, some people can escape. Why don't you have Leia then escape, go to Canto Bight, so she's out of the trouble and can lead in the future? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's and like you said, I think that you can get away with it once or twice, but I think once you've asked your audience to concede too much, then it's I don't know, it's it kind of kills the experience. Um,
And I wonder if there's a name for that, for the concept of storytelling that, I mean, it could be a name both ways. Storytelling that doesn't make sense, but just to move the plot forward, or storytelling that makes sure to keep the audience's, I guess, belief in play as it tells the story. Like, I don't know if there's a word for that.
yeah, I mean, I guess suspension of disbelief is the closest description I can get to it. Is like you want to maintain that level, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's an industry term for that.
Yeah, because I would want to keep that in mind if I'm writing something. Like, okay, is this little bit of information that I'm explaining here, does it really make sense? Or am I just trying to come up with something just to have something happen? Which,
Yeah,
you know what, that was, I told you this before, that was what I was getting out of Community. As some episodes of Community, it's like, once it got to the end of the episode, I was like, oh, I know what they were trying to do, but the way they went about it made no sense. They were just trying to get the conclusion to happen.
right.
Yeah,
And so then you end up having characters that don't behave in ways that that the audience would expect.
right.
Um,
Yeah, and so right now I've been going through Macross. I think I'm on like episode 20, so I'm over halfway done.
oh,
and,
awesome.
and I gotta say, like, it is really good. Even
And it's
though,
held up pretty well.
yeah, no, I think it holds up very well. I'm surprised, but there are some drastic, like, okay, that doesn't make sense. How, especially when it's this giant fortress ship. Once I wrap my head around it's this giant transforming fortress ship, and then like how it like teleported to Pluto with an island and water from the ocean, like some things are like, what?
Yes, super dimension fortress indeed.
Well, and that's funny because then I guess what the story is nonsense, but then the design and the combat of the main ships that they are selling is well done. So it's like they know what they have to sell,
Yeah.
and so they
And I think that that's an important note when it comes to that that type of storytelling where things don't necessarily make sense. That doesn't necessarily mean that the action scenes aren't good. I mean,
Right.
I think that um, there's bad stories that have incredible effects, incredible designs, incredible action. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
there's a lot of components that go into crafting TV shows, video games, etc.
Yeah, and it's weird. I think we've seen lately with like the video game industry how games with huge budgets will come out and just not be that good. It's like they've totally lost the way when it comes to why a game would have a budget. And I think we're seeing like with Ubisoft how they are canceling a bunch of games, trying to not get sold. Come back. They have all these bloated budgets. No one wants to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, whoa. You wouldn't want to buy someone else's death, right?
And I think, yeah, that's what happened. I forget what company recently that they sold off their staff, and then I forget what the actual thing was, but it's been happening.
Oh, hey, what's up, Dan? So we've got Dan B in the chat.
Okay, these
Just
guys are in a
lurking.
weird spot.
Yeah, we're like right on the edge of the map, and so they're kind of like not.
I wonder if we
I'm
run
trying
away
to find a way to bait them out, but
and they come down.
and then it was crazy because one of them kind of glitched out on me and was just standing there and just eating machine gun rounds.
Yeah, I had one do that to me earlier. That was weird. I wonder if okay, here we go. So there.
All right, I think we got him. But hey, this series of missions hasn't been too difficult.
Yeah,
Definitely not Annabelle Gato level.
I know. I didn't know what that was about. It just like came out of nowhere and just.
Right. I thought it was like a basic mop-up operation. Oh, we're just gonna take out some pillbox turrets. All right, these goofs are pretty tough, actually. But yeah, I think Xeonic Front had a level of customization similar to this game, where it's like, you can pick. You can't choose any weapon. I think that's kind of the charm of this game, is that, I mean, you could, if you meet the requirements, you could have like a goof with a beam rifle. In fact, I think there's one level in the story mode that I had a goof custom that was armed with a beam sniper rifle, and it took a crazy build. Like, I had to soup up its generator capacity because it can't run. Like, it couldn't support the beam rifle naturally. But still, it was awesome. Like, I was willing to pay that price. So yeah, definitely hold on to the discussion of Macross, because I want to come up with like 10 examples where sci-fi TV shows, games, and movies jump the shark.
Okay.
That's
Jump
the
the shark. There you
jump
go.
the shark. That's, I don't know the etymology behind that turn of phrase, but I think that's what it is, right?
Jump the shark. Yeah, you know what that's from, right? That's from Happy Days. There was an episode where they had the Fonz water skiing and jump a ramp over a shark. And they thought that was so ridiculous for that show. That's where that term "jump the shark" came from.
See,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day on this stream.
Yeah. But that's a good term, yeah, jump the shark. Because I don't think that totally makes sense, but I think you can jump the shark over time. Like probably Last Jedi, they were jumping the shark.
Right.
To try to come up with something, well, it's nonsensical. But I think early on, maybe there's another term for like a beginning of a series that they do something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what I think a lot of times happens when I'm watching an anime that's from something I don't know of, or when I would try to get into anime. I think there's a certain level where anime does that, but I think it's normalized in a way if you're then like, oh, yeah, I'm just watching anime.
Right. And I think that I think that's why you end up having these big divides in fan bases, is because there's a portion of the fan base that's willing to overlook that type of thing.
Yeah.
Because they like that story. They like the over the top stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's a portion of the fan base that doesn't.
Yeah, and I always find that interesting because you could really divide. Like, I could see how Star Wars would divide people, that when it gets into Force stuff, it's like, I just want to see the space combat. Because that's me. I was primarily a space combat person. I just over time got into the Force. I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't mind it. But
yeah, that's I mean, it's a shame that Empire Strikes Back didn't really have a lot of great space battles.
Right.
You really only get it in the end of episode 4 and I guess the end of episode 6, right?
Yeah, the one time they did it really good was just the escape through the asteroid field and into the asteroid. Like, that was just very well done, but you're right. And that's funny because, like, people say that's the best Star Wars movie, but it has kind of the least of what I like about Star Wars. But it did do the AT-AT battle at the beginning, at least.
That's true. I think that was kind of, what was the name of the director that did Empire?
It was Irvin Kershner.
Yeah, Kershner.
Kershner.
I think that was his, hey, buy into this movie. Like, here's the action scene. We're gonna front load it
Yeah.
instead of burying the lead and saying, hey, we're gonna make you wait 45 minutes until the first shot is fired. I
Yeah.
mean, he throws you into the thick of it, and then what you get is a primarily character-driven film after that. Like Empire, I think, and that's what gives it its reputation, right? Is it's like if you strip out all of the battles and all of the action from Empire, you still have like a really compelling character story.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's interesting because, like, even Return of the Jedi, I feel like as a whole, it's not as, and I don't want to say artsy is the word, but compared to Empire, Return of the Jedi is not as refined, I guess I should say. But Return of the Jedi has the best balance of the action and story.
I think so as well. And I don't mind my little teddy bear army.
Yeah, I don't either. I love that stuff. That was, especially as a kid when you see them and they're all cute and all that, and then some of them die, like on screen.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what? Well, this is war.
Wait, did we lose?
I don't know what happened. Mission failed. Yeah.
Huh? What did we do wrong?
Okay, so this might be one of those times where you have to.
Yeah. See what the actual mission was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan called it out as well. Jump the Shark is from Happy Days. Every time the ratings dipped, they had Fonzie do a stunt.
And I never even watched. Maybe I watched a little bit of Happy Days, like if it was a rerun and the only thing on TV.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me see if I get some details from this. Protect the convoy. So I guess I didn't notice the convoy, probably because I was talking, but yeah, let's look for a convoy. Protect it.
See, and I would love, I think a lot of multiplayer video games, either couch co-op or online, they really lack a lot of really fun alternative game modes. Because even Protect the Convoy, it really does just come down to, like, hey, shoot more bad guys.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of times with these other game modes, sometimes they're not. The gameplay isn't so specifically revolved around it. It's more of, well, here's just another scenario, but you're doing the same thing. All right, so it must be these guys in green. Now, are they splitting up?
I sure hope not, because that would make life very difficult.
Okay, I think that's what's making it difficult then. I'll go to these guys over here.
Are you taking the right or the left?
Left.
Okay, cool. Then I will take the right.
Oh, yeah, they're already being shot at. So
yeah. It's for those Zaku cannons.
Oh. That was even quicker.
Yeah, shoot. So maybe
we just follow them and let the bad guys come to us as we're following them.
Yeah, I think if we get drawn too far out, we can't protect them. I'm even thinking maybe one of us should go ahead to try and clear the path for them.
Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, speaking of sci-fi movies or shows, any new ones or any new things you've watched?
I can't say that I've seen anything new. Mostly been just rewatching kind of old stuff. But everyone says
キュ
that
ーブ試運搬中
and I
の
need
輸
to
送
get
部
into
隊
the
が敵
Expanse.
の攻撃にさらされて
I
Is
いる
that the
tried that.
one?
I've gone
運
through
搬中の物資は本
2
戦域で戦
seasons
う
and
味
a little
方
bit
部
of
隊
the
の
third.
生命
I
線だ
feel like it is trying to be gritty. It's trying to be as extreme as possible, like
な
a
お敵が
extreme
増援
gritty
を
dark
派遣した
future.
との情報もある敵部隊の反応
And
が
super
完全に消失するまで護衛任
Like
務
even how
を
the
継続
characters
しろ
talk to each other. And I feel like, I don't know, I think with my sci-fi, it's almost like there's this layer of perfect future, but it's just underneath that, like Gundam. Oh, we're in space colonies, but underneath that, what the corporations are doing. The Expanse is just from the start, this is bad, the future's bad.
It's just
Mining
super
kills
cynical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of bothers me about a lot of modern movies, TV shows. It's like, yeah, we all know that bad people exist and that, it can be a rough world out there, but it'd be nice to if our entertainment media had some hopeful messaging, you know,
And
just
so
every so often.
well, let me ask you about this. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No, I didn't.
Okay, same here. It was honestly after the first couple episodes, I was like, this is more of a kind of a darker, depressing show. Probably not for me.
Yeah.
But everyone loves it. But then sometimes it feels like it's shock that people like, not necessarily that it's substantial. But I don't want to
I
talk
felt
bad
the same
then
way about
about.
like Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's a good example. I love zombie movies. Walking Dead really didn't do anything. Oh my god, they are taking out. They've taken out 2 of the 3 that I had over there.
Oh man, I think I've got 2 left on this side. Oh,
I bet then they got some other. Okay, so I don't know what they're expecting with that unless we need Ultronus up in here or something.
that might improve our odds of success.
Yeah. Well, that's the only other mission I have to choose from. So I don't know if we just keep trying or do something else or.
Yeah, I mean, I've got time for one more mission in me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
If you want, I can. I guess would I have to start up a lobby to see if I've got anything that we haven't played yet?
Well, yeah, I'm curious. How were we able to play those other missions last time? Was that because you made the lobby, or
Yeah, I think it was probably because it was one that I had started up.
because the only way to do multiplayer is you have to go to free mission, right? You can't just go to scenario.
Right. Yeah. The
Okay.
story mode I don't think you can play.
So yeah, then I think with
online.
yours, then I think yeah, it was just the Dynasty Warriors then that limited what levels we could play. Which that's one we need to do too. I wonder if we should schedule that out. Like 1 week it's Battlefield Record, 1 week it's Dynasty Warriors or something.
Yeah, I think we could definitely do that. So let's see. I just created a room. Let me know if it pops up on your.
Okay. Yep.
Awesome. I do love how when you first connect, it shows katakana instead of the English.
Yeah, it's a weird mix of English and it's funny because, like, I remember I made that comment in a video and someone was like, "Well, it's the same in America. We'll see other languages used sometimes." I'm like, "Well,
キューブ試運搬中の輸送部隊
not
が
really.
敵の
Like, I
攻
feel like
撃にさら
English,
され
like
ている
interchangeable. I mean, in Japan, they
運搬
interchangeably
中の物資
use
は本戦域で戦う
English
味方部
words
隊の
for
生命線
things
だ
that are very common or something.
Mhm.
Whereas here in America, if we're adding Japanese characters, it's more of a flourish.
敵が増援を
It's not like
派遣
anyone's
した
gonna
との
read
情
that.
報
Whereas I think in
もある
Japan, most
敵
people
部隊の反
can
応が
understand
完
more
全に
English
消
than
失するまで
English
護
speakers
衛
can
任務
understand
を継
Japanese.
続しろ
Yeah, it's a very deliberate choice.
Yeah.
So, in a somewhat ironic twist of fate, I think I selected the same convoy protection mission.
Well, let's see what happens. That has to be for a reason.
Yeah, that means that we're gonna make it happen this time.
Well, I wonder. So as I was following these guys, they were just getting destroyed. I mean, do we just need to run out ahead of time and just? I don't know.
I'm thinking that's what we got to do. I mean, they do not last very long against these Zakus.
And this guy, these dual machine guns, he's just like destroying them from a distance.
Oh yeah, all those Zaku cannons are just peppering them with.
Come on, come on. All right. Okay. Oh, they're already getting shot at.
I actually don't have any left on my radar, so I don't know if they all got taken out or.
Mine just got taken out.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez, that mission is brutal.
And I wonder if it's just a specific thing. We're just doing it in the way where we're triggering the wrong events. That's what happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
let's see if I can find one that's not that. I'd like to go out on a high note.
Did you have a lot to choose from? Because for me, it's like that was it. That was the fourth mission.
Yeah, I think I just have to move to a different location.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we've got. I'm currently drinking all of these Voss waters because you know, thanks to Leaping Panda Hobby, I was able to pick up a high grade The O.
Oh, nice.
And so that was the last mobile suit I needed for my Inside the Colony Laser diorama. So part of that is going to be turning these empty water bottles into the gold tubes that are inside the.
Love it. That is amazing. I can't wait to see what you do because I would do the same thing. That's probably one of my favorite diorama set pieces of Gundam is the Colony Laser fight.
Well, and again, you know, like bring it back to an earlier point you made is like that set piece, like that level exists in dozens of Gundam games.
Yeah.
Let's see. A Renaissance unit has captured what appears to be a young remnant. Recent raid proves that they are targeting military supplies stored in the... Alright. So, this mission, we are patrolling an industrial area.
Okay. I can patrol.
Yeah. I mean, AIs can patrol.
Yeah. You know what? It just made me think you're talking about AI. And how long would people be able to have an AI play a video game for them? Whereas, because you're just given limited commands in the first place.
True. Well, and I think that they've designed some algorithms that can play like Dota, right? Like,
oh, that's cool.
There are some AIs. Well, you know, I always put AI in quote because I think it's like
it's more algorithm.
We're very it's such a misnomer for all the technology that we have available to us. But yeah, I mean, we have AIs that can play video games and apparently, in some cases, play them better than people.
Whoa. I am seeing... I'm glad I'm recording this because this looks insane what I'm seeing.
Okay. Like, is that like 40 Zegox coming
our way? Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. They're like flying around everywhere like, oh my God. This isn't the one where we had to protect something, right? It doesn't seem like it.
No, it doesn't look like it. I don't see a protection zone. So hopefully it's just...
Something just happened.
Man, amphibious mobile suits are quite underrated.
Yeah, is this... No, it's not what I want to build one of these. I just built a god. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Oh,
did I
nice.
get myself killed? I think I killed myself with my own grenade. Yeah, next I need to get the At guy. Yeah, I love these goofy suits.
Yeah, I've got a Zegok on the table here. I realized that I've got so many, snap-built high-grade kits, just kind of sitting around, but I haven't really done anything with yet. So, like, it's I've got a Zegok here that is currently headless, but we're gonna fix that here soon. I've got like a GM Type C that I'd like to do something with. Oh, and I always forget that the Act guys don't show up on your radar in this game, which is such an awesome little feature.
Yeah, and even like looking, it's interesting, like the level of detail on their armor and the shading. It actually looks, I'm gonna say, better than GBO2. Like GBO2 looks okay. I feel like it's missing a lot of details. Yeah, even the GM, I'm looking at my GM, I love the details on it. And that's the thing, playing side stories on the emulator to up the graphics looks so good. I bet this would be incredible.
Yeah. One of the small details that I think we noticed the last time we were playing this was underneath the feet of the Gogs, they have little propellers that spin while
that's right. Yeah.
while they're jumping, which is such a, when are you ever going to see the underside of the mobile suit? So, like, the fact that they animated that is, just an incredible attention to detail.
Yeah.
Oh, man, did you get downed?
Yeah, second time, but it gets me back up quick, so.
Good. I might need to abandon ship here. Oh, yeah, I'm down now.
Is there a charging station?
There is. It's that white spot on the mini map.
Oh yeah, let me change that. Okay. Oh, another weird thing is when you're playing like more than one Gundam game at a time, and they have different buttons for boosting, and it's like, oh man.
Yeah, that kills me.
I like how though triangle is generally melee.
Yeah,
they
there's like some commonalities between them. But yeah, like side stories, for instance, your lock-on is one of the triggers, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's like the R1 or whatever that's closest. It's the non-trigger one.
Yeah. This is a punishing level.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting when they said patrol.
But at least it's not some random thing we don't know we're doing wrong. At least if we die, we know we just... Yeah, we're awesome.
I'm also confused about where these mobile suits are going, because it does look like they're trying to get to some target, but they're not really shooting at anything in particular.
Yeah, and I saw one of the Zagoks just like attacking a random pipe in the water, and I was like, is that something I'm supposed to protect? But no, there's nothing there.
Yep. Okay, now we've got the,
Yeah.
oh, the high gogs are
Oh
here.
my god, there's so many. This is actually pretty cinematic, to be honest, with all these scenes.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm down. Wow, is it just me, or does your recovery speed go down the more times you get shot down?
Could be.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I forget that high dogs have that like stun.
I hate it when it doesn't want to lock onto the thing I'm trying to lock onto.
Yeah,
What's that? Oh, I died.
Oh,
So it's interesting. It seems to work like having lives because then at the percentage increments, it goes back up. It's not all the way.
yeah.
Oh my god! Wow, one hit, 25%. And one hit, I mean the swap from the high god. Yeah, I was trying to attack him, but like as he would jump, my lock-on would go away. I'd have to turn around. That's too bad.
Oh, oh.
Guy in
I
front
tried
of
to
me.
crouch and recover, but I'm blasted by that high gog.
Wow, I just got taken out again. Are we both down?
I am currently just recovering.
Oh, good idea.
I'm in a nice little hiding spot.
I probably need to head over there. Yeah, definitely slower recovery time. Oh my. Yeah, a little unforgiving with the melee. Like, even if I get my sword out, if he happens to swing first.
Oh yeah. And if they nail you with a combo and put you down, it's like,
It was one hit.
oh gee.
With health at 20% now, like one hit.
Whoa. What the heck just happened? I swear he like tickled me and then I died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these guys can like slap us.
I was in the middle of a melee combo on him too.
And now he's just running away.
Coward.
I know, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. Did we finally...
Yep.
Good one, though. That's a good one to
Yeah.
know. We need some upgraded suits. Maybe another player.
Yep. Yep. I think we need to call in our C squad, get Ultronimus in here
Yep.
so that we've got more bodies on the field, and then of course yeah, upgrading our suits. It's one of those things that drives me crazy, and I think I mentioned this to you about Gundam Battle Alliance, where it's like I wanted to save all of my currency and all of my resources for when I unlocked the Zeta Gundam so that I could just max out the stats.
Yep.
But then you reach a point where it's just so difficult that you can't
Yeah.
force your way through it.
No, I did the exact same thing. The Zeta was one of the first that I tried to max, and then you can't until you get further. And then realizing having different types of suits help with certain bosses, so...
Yeah, so then you end up just having to splash the cash and upgrade everything.
Well, hint, hint. Secret knowledge that might not really be true is that there could be some DLC coming out for SD Gundam to kind of help shortcut to unlocking a bunch of things. Although really you could do it without paying, just takes a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty exciting. I might have to get back into it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this has been a fun stream. Probably ought to call it and get back to work. But but yeah, like I said, I'm excited to stream again with you tomorrow, 1
Yeah.
p.m. Eastern, noon Central.
Nice. Nice. I will be there.
Sweet. Well, hey, thank you for joining me on this supporters only stream. And yeah, let's do this more often. I'd like to, like you said, we'll alternate weeks, maybe do some Reborn one week and 0081 the next.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, it's fun playing these games.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks Dan for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, see y'all.
Awesome.